Alrighty. Hello, Health 301 students. In this video, I want to go over some more specific directions and try to answer some questions you may have for two main assignments. And that is during week 3, health education teaching demonstration assignment, and in the final week 5, the digital portfolio assignment. So let's start with health education teaching demonstration assignment. Obviously, this was supposed to be you and a partner or two teaching a health lesson in the classroom to 45 students, and I did not want to make you all do synchronous online instruction, meaning we all were going to have to be online at the same exact time, and then everybody calls in at that time. I just thought that it's a little bit more than what I wanted to ask of you, and so this also gives us a great opportunity to work on some of those 21st century technology skills, and let me explain to you what I'm going to have you do instead. So if we click on this is within week 3. There's two links here. The first one are the directions. The second link is where you're actually submitting the video. What this is going to be is a screen capture video of you teaching a lesson, health lesson. So I'm going to click on the directions. So here's the modified assignment. Why are we doing it? It's going to, number one, it doesn't even say it here, it's going to work on some of these technology skills that if you do a screen capture video, you're going to be well ahead of other people because they've never done that before. And so that's a great thing. Second thing is that you planning, implementing, assessing, all of those things with a health lesson, this activity, this assignment is helping you reach 5 different CHES competencies. Acting as a resource person, communicating through technology. So relating to the digital portfolio assignment, this video could be put to any of those different areas of the CHES competencies. We'll get to that in a second. So what are you going to do? You can choose to do this assignment by yourself. That's fine. I'm not going to require you to work with somebody else if your environment and situation doesn't lend itself to that. That is okay. You can choose to work with one other classmate, so that'd be 2 of you, or as many as 2 other classmates, and that would mean there'd be 3 of you. However, you are not allowed to physically meet up with the person and both of you stand behind the webcam or whatever and be in the same room together. That's not helping anything relating to the what's going on right now. But if you were to choose that situation, then you would be doing a web conference like I'm doing right now using Zoom to record a lesson that the 3 of you are or 2 of you are on the same call. All right. There's more information in a sec, but that's something you need to consider, okay? Finished product is you doing a screen capture video of a health-related lesson. Choosing a topic. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to be creative. You do not have to choose one of those Tackman hands-on health lessons, okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about. So actually, if we go back to where we were, we click on the teaching demonstration assignment. Oh, let me see. Where did I put the Tackman? I'm going to have to add another attachment here for the Tackman. So I will add another file right here, and that will be the Tackman. Let me show you what that looks like so that you know what I'm talking about. I apologize. All right, this file will be in there. I'm going to bring it over. Sorry, it's a little bit unprofessional of me. So these were the lessons that you're going to teach. You can choose to teach one of these. However, it is called hands-on health. A lot of these activities are interactive with the student and the teacher, and they're hands-on activities. So they don't totally lend themselves to the online environment. So if you want to modify any of these lessons to try to teach it in that type of as close to what it says for these lesson plans, you can try that. But this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Tachman. It has all the different lessons. This is the table of contents. So I'm going to minimize that. Okay, go back to the directions. So you can look at that. If you choose the Tachman, we recommend you not using activity 8. Students don't quite get the whole iMessage thing. Activities 43 and 44 go over old recommendations for CPR. If you want to do a lesson on CPR, that's fine, but make sure you're using the new recommendations and don't follow the Tachman. I am open to pretty much any health-related topic that you want to do a lesson on. However, if you're unsure, use the Ask the Professor. I'll try to answer questions you may have. Look at that sub headings right here. You might want to do something on wellness. You might want to do it on emotional health, mental health, nutrition and health. Any of these types of activities. Take a look at your textbook. Your textbook gives you a lot of different ideas. You might want to do it on future trends in health. That's chapter 10. Settings of health ed, ethics. But try not to be so general and wide on it. Narrow down the scope of the lesson so that you can narrow it down to like 3 or 4, around 3 lesson objectives. So rather than saying we're going to do a lesson on ethics and future trends in health ed, we are going to look at the potential HIPAA issues of telemedicine. So that would be a more specific lesson that you might teach someone. For all the facts in the lesson, you need to include in-text APA citations. So if you're citing the textbook, and if you're doing a screen capture and maybe it might be a PowerPoint, you're going to put Cottrell, which is our author of our textbook, 2018, if you're giving some information and we want to know where you got that information from. But in this, you need to have at least 3 references cited in your lesson. I don't have any minimum or maximum slides if you're doing a PowerPoint presentation and creating a video from that. However, the big thing is that you have a time limit of 5 minutes. You should not go over 5 minutes. I will deduct points off the total score if you go over 5 minutes. To do a screen capture video, you're going to need a microphone. Most laptops, tablets have a built-in microphone. If you're using a desktop computer, you might need to get a microphone, external microphone. They're super cheap. This should be pretty easy. You should be able to order one or you know, 15 bucks maybe. You can use a webcam like I'm doing here, not required. And then you're going to need software. You have, I'm giving you here 3 options. If you're comfortable and you want to use a different software, that's fine. Software option number 1, this would be recommending if you're doing it by yourself, this assignment, I would use PowerPoint video. You can record audio narration. I give you tutorial videos here. And then when you're done, save it as a video file, okay? Save it as an MP4. We'll get into that in a second. Another option, some of you may have heard of Screencast-O-Matic. There's the website. It's free. Go on there. You can use a Screencast-O-Matic to make a free video recording. Lastly, an individual can use Zoom, or if you're doing a group presentation with multiple people calling in through the internet, then here's what you would do. You'd use Zoom. That's how I'm making this video here. You go to sru.zoom.us, use your SRU student username and password, start a meeting, practice this to know what the settings are. Make sure that your microphone is picking up audio. Check with the different people that are calling in, make sure their audio is working. Do a test run to make sure it's working and before you actually do your final video. And I have some tutorials here, all right? If you're doing a PowerPoint, especially with Zoom, for example, you would have to do the option of share the screen. So here, this says new share. I would be sharing that screen to show the slides while you're talking over what you're going over. So at the beginning of your presentation, you might have title of the lesson, Health 301, Introduction to Health Education, Dr. Jenny, you'd introduce everybody who's in it. You would give your lesson objectives, what you want by the end of this lesson, you should be able to what? Then you have the body of what you're going to be covering relating to those objectives. Then I want you to do an assessment at the end. So that might be as simple as asking a few questions, giving that person who's watching the video a few seconds to think about what their responses are, and then give the answers. So maybe it might be an open-ended questions. It could be multiple choice that you put up there, and you ask them to maybe pause the video and then reveal the answers. So try to get a few checks for understanding to make sure that people were comprehending what you gave in the lesson. And then finish off with APA reference slide. Again, you need to have at least 3 sources built in. When you're submitting it in D2L, in the body, the text box, I want you to put the first and last names of every group member, the title of the lesson. When you're saving the video file, save it as whatever the topic is of your lesson. But Zoom will automatically make a MP4. Whenever you have some saving options within PowerPoint narration, and I want you to choose MP4 because it's a compressed video file, and that means the file size is smaller. And when you're trying to upload it to D2L, it's going to go a lot quicker. Sometimes if you're uploading video, it takes longer than normal. So just be aware of that and let it load, especially if you have a slow internet connection. Here's how I'm grading it. Did you introduce yourself? Is the topic clear? Were the lesson objectives clear? Did you include at least 3 APA references? If you're with other people, was the workload evenly spread out? Did you include an assessment? Did you have a clear and deliberate, smooth presentation lesson? Are you saying all the time? Are you reading off notes? Are you dressed professionally? Is it not longer than 5 minutes? Is it less than 5 minutes? And do you have a reference list? All right, so that is the gist of it. Let me go back. Those are the directions. If we go back to that folder, and I'll show you their submission. So that's the direction link. Here's the submission link. It tells you again what you're going to be doing. This is a discussion board link. So one person in the group will hit start a new thread, and then in the box, you're going to put in first and last name of each group member, what your lesson is, and then you're going to hit add attachments and upload the video. Okay. For the following module, which is week 4, you will be going back into this discussion folder and then doing your peer reviews. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to create another video to go over that digital portfolio assignment.